Oh, are you getting ready to stream?
Am. Okay, we're out of here. Who's got their expert still running? Oh, Psycho.
That's me. Yeah, I'm having issues logging into it, so I'm just gonna turn off the camera until I get that resolved.
It's like I have that every so often as well.
It doesn't like Brave. That's the so I have to switch my default browser while I do it because and then gotta switch it back and nonsense. Nobody wants to hear about that.
Dracanis didn't have to disappear. He doesn't like being camera or what?
We're having a nice little chat, and all of a sudden it was like the rats leaving the sinking ship. Everyone's disconnected and gone.
Yeah, the breakdown of our society, that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know why Dracanis left, but whatever.
Just message him and just tell him that he can definitely stay on. It's all right. He was the guy that gave us this little video thing. Little clip I'm going to play, which I thought was quite funny. Of course, it is an advertisement. I don't know if it's probably going to strike a copyright infringement somewhere along the line because it's got a little bit of music in it. But we'll get to that shortly. Anyway, good morning, everybody. How is everybody today? Stewie from Newey. No, we're not going to play games today. I think I got a few feedback that people just don't like game content on YouTube. Whatever. It's my channel. I'll do what I want, you know. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. G'day, Mark. How you doing? Good morning. Come on, get that computer of yours running and come and say hello. Robert Mack and who else is there? Brandon. Okay. Silly psycho. Gary Russell. Gary Russell. Is that a Freudian slip? I don't know. Rustling in the leaves there. Who else we got? Malcolm K, g'day, Alan, and that's it. Well, people are dropping in. How are we doing today? Todd, 3 weeks to go?
I'm doing well. The countdown is on. I've got the background in because the place is looking too messy to show everyone, and I don't want to be labelled as someone that's too messy just yet. So, but I've actually got this working with iOS.
Yeah, so he's got, is that it is XSplit, is it? You've got the XSplit working with iOS.
No, it's something different. So yeah,
it's a different program, but it does the same thing. Okay. I've got two programs that do the thing. I've got that one. I've also got the NVIDIA one that has a different camera plugged into it as well, which does that as well. So I'm magic. Yeah. I'm pretty cool when it comes to that shit, you know, and do all the technical jiggery pokery. Oh, there he is. Okay.
No, I'm just happy I'm not the odd one standing out with the natural background. I can sort of put up whatever I like now.
And Todd, how are you doing? Oh, no, not Todd. Psycho. How are you doing? How was the party last night?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
No complaints.
I saw you at the Robin Hood.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Had some Jameson Cokes, yeah, and then some Midnights. Jerry's got me turned on to the Midnights.
The Midnight, yeah, that'll keep you going, yeah. Mark has joined us. G'day, Mark. He's got his camera coming. Oh, there we do. Oh my God. And there's the odd one out, so he hasn't got a transformed background. You'll have to teach him how to do that
Yeah,
shit.
I have. I'm living in a bunker.
He's living in a bunker.
That's not real. That's a bunker.
Oh, is that what it is? That's
Yeah.
you found that on the internet. Okay.
I'm knuckling down because of the new, what is it, Omicron variant of the new virus. I'm not taking any chance.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is just
I mean, yeah.
the next thing to
That's
shut
done
down the
really
society.
good for putting everything on sale. You know, cryptos, stocks. It was really nice to have a Black Friday sale on all of that.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Did you see the one I
Yeah.
posted on the online group last night? The Onion article.
Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
Haven't you?
That one, yeah.
42 million dead in blood and bloodlust. The 42 dead in bloodiest Black Friday Wednesday on record. Black Friday Wednesday. Come on, you would have got it from the name of the Onion anyway. But it's quite a funny article. There we go. So let me just. I probably need to go and tell the other guy to press the other button and make you small again. Where are we? There we. That's not working, is it?
That's all right. I don't need to see us.
Okay. 42 million dead and bloodiest Black Friday weekend on record. So I thought it was a Wednesday. That was how they needed to read it better. According to the emergency personnel, early estimates indicate that more than 42 million Americans were killed in past weekend in what is now believed to be the bloodiest Black Friday shopping event in history. God, you got to love this the Onion. They come up with some absolutely crazy freaking stories. But anyway, yeah, it's if you don't know the Onion, it's one of those satire sites. We have something similar in Australia. What's the one in Australia called?
The one that does the videos.
No, he does. He does
Is
all
that
sorts-
the Babylon Bee or something?
Not
Or is
Babylon.
that something else?
No, there was another one in Australia. I can't think of it at the moment.
The name temporarily escapes me.
Yeah.
But they do all sorts of weird and wonderful things like that as well, which is pretty cool. And Drag's back. There you go. So he's come to back. He's not going to be too shy. He doesn't have to put his camera on. If he's scared of the girls seeing him, he can keep his camera on. You don't have to.
Yeah.
As I keep on
It's like
saying, if you come onto the program, you don't have to put your camera on. You can just talk in the background there. But we do want you to come on, and this is our group. This is our family, which is basically part of what we're talking about: the breakdown of society and the lack of social cohesion we've got in the current day society. But we'll get to that shortly. We'll do all the welcome stuff first. Ralph was here before, but he's wandered off. He did. I think he's shy. And Kim. G'day, Kim. How you doing? Don't forget, if you've got any questions, just throw them up on the chat there or come on and ask them yourself. We do try to answer any questions you've got. Apparently the main side effect of the Omicron strain is that men develop a huge appendage. It's a widespread side effect in South America.
God, I've had it then.
Yeah.
There's that one. You've got it, haven't you?
Got that at an early age. It's a childhood disease, wasn't it?
Anytime that that sort of subject
Morning,
comes up about South Africa and huge appendages, I still have in my back of my cranium here like this image. It was floating around about 15, 20 years ago. And the caption was, missing woman found in Africa suffering from an acute case of lockjaw, right? And what it was, you had this fucking this black African with this fucking woman at her knees, and his, no joke, his appendage is like 18 inches fucking long. And this
I think
image.
that's a troll image that's still going around. Yeah,
she's suffering from lockjaw or something like that. I just still have that image in my brain. I can't get rid of that image. I'm sorry. But yeah,
It's like the after effects of Quagmire on Family Guy. And he got a hold of some pills and There was this woman just split in half,
Right.
sitting on a bar stool.
Crazy stuff. And who else we got? Robin Groves, good morning. How you doing? Chris Brown, g'day. How you doing? And Boss, g'day, Boss. Boss, when are you getting back here? You've got any plans to get back here? I think we're due for a bike ride. Boss is another bike rider, so we want to ride together at some stage when he gets over here.
Roger Canis is too.
Track, you're a bike rider? What are you riding?
I've got a 1980 Honda Goldwing.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh my God.
that's a cruiser. That's a cruiser.
I got my best friend in Scotland, Des. He's had big bikes for the last few years, but he's just recently bought himself the new 1300 Goldwing, brand spanking new. Like honestly, they're a fucking car on two wheels. Those things, aren't they?
They're nice to ride. They're very,
Very
cruisable.
nice.
Yeah.
They come with reverse too, I think.
I believe they do. I remember, so I've actually ridden one of those, the Harley Davidson, the Fat Boy. And the one thing I remember in the Fat Boy, just going around the curves, it's almost like they got this built-in, vertical stabilizer. As you're pulling into the corner, they want to make you go straight up again, and it's really quite an uncomfortable feeling when you first get on. This automatic sort of self-centering, self-righting process where they want to be upright all the time and they don't really lean at the corners. But I guess you get used to it. I prefer my bike. I'm sorry. It's my price range and it's my feel. It's my style. It's good. What a million, 1.5 million baht for a freaking Fat Boy these days? Oh my God. I don't know what they cost over there. What's a Fat Boy?
There we go. Track just erased himself to show the bike.
There it is. That's
Yep, that's my bike. That was the last ride Sunday. I got to make some tracks through the snow.
Really? It's actually seems to have a smaller front wheel than I would have expected. I suppose it's being a 1980
Yeah.
version. Yeah, okay. I think they got bigger.
Oh yeah, being that old, it's almost too small for me.
Mm. Yeah, the gold.
It's definitely got the horsepower, but it's just I could use a little bit more legroom on it. Just a couple of, but that's also me being 6'6", so.
Yeah, so Boss has said he's hopefully coming here next year. Well, that's good. We'll get a ride with him. We actually, I'll give you a quick sneak peek. So it's just so that you know that we're on track with certain things. Where are we? So open original. Let me drag that over here. So we have got our design done. If I can get this thing here to work, we've got our design of our T-shirts done. There we go. The Wily Wombat Riders of Thailand. Yeah, that's all you're going to see now. We're not going to show you anymore because we don't want people stealing it. It is copyright. Bring you back. Where are we? Yeah. But yeah, so...
It's a good-looking shirt.
Yeah, it's... Todd's done all the running around getting people to do it. I wouldn't have a clue how to get anybody over here to do it. And as soon as we design one over here, it'll be on everybody's websites selling on Teespring and shit like that. So we've done it all secretly.
Yeah.
You only get a T-shirt if you ride with us. That's it. End of story.
But it does have a front design, and
Yeah.
you can put your own name on it like a proper T-shirt. So, yeah,
Yeah,
they'll be individualised.
Yeah, it's all cool. It's all cool.
Well, I guess in order to get the shirt, I'm gonna have to eventually get a bike. Huh?
You're gonna have to get a license
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. No, I talked to some people last night. I talked to Jerry and Brian about that.
Right.
And they were actually saying the process with the U.S. Embassy isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So just have to pay my $50 and make the appointment.
Yeah, and of course now that you can handle a bit of the Thai language, it shouldn't be too difficult at all. Yeah, I'm going to have to disappear and, probably at any tick of the clock, go downstairs and help the driver with getting off my treadmill and getting into the house. but he hasn't showed up yet. They called just before the stream started. They were due here at 1 o'clock this afternoon, but he just said he's busy now and it's on the back of the truck and he doesn't want to move things around. So we're now first delivery rather than last delivery. I bought a treadmill for me and for Chanya, so get some walking done. This is something we've been talking about. She didn't like the fact that I went out shopping with her yesterday, without her yesterday, to buy it. There she is having a look at it via the phone. Which one do you want? Which one do you think looks best? She's looking it through the phone now. Anyway, we sorted that shit out. The outlaw motorcycle gang, yeah. No, the wily wombats, wombats that we're slow. We're not these speed demon riders, we want to ride and cruise and take you along on Discord, right? We're set up. We're set up so the fact that we'll tell people when we're going for a ride, and we'll set up the cameras so that our Discord community, which is getting back to our topic today, which we'll get to some stage, breakdown of society and building community. The community is our Discord channel. It's a community channel, right? Everybody is welcome. Just don't be a dick. That's the basic rule. And there's look, as soon as I say that, there he is. Looks like it. Is that him? Let me just go downstairs. Just talk amongst yourselves, boys, while I'll be back. What's going on? No.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you really think about the breakdown of society, people now, rather than knowing, and I think this is what Dracanis and Wazza were going to talk about, rather than knowing your neighbors, people several thousand miles away, because it's more about shared interests rather than proximity. It's more about people you associate with rather than people that you're stuck with. So you're free to choose your community in this age versus being stuck with your neighbors. I mean, there's some negative to that too, that you don't really talk to your neighbors. But I haven't talked to my neighbors, and I don't know my neighbors here. I didn't know my neighbors. Well, I knew one neighbor back where I used to live, and before that, I knew one neighbor that
video. Oh my god!
Oh, here we go.
Okay. Well, I'm going to throw a spanner in the works. I don't have neighbours. Specifically, bought a house that doesn't have neighbours.
So I mean, you've chosen that life. So you've just taken that. You don't have to even worry about that.
No, I mean, I'm a social guy, a la being here and being able to chat with you guys. But that frame of my lifestyle.
Okay. Did I break something, did I? Wait. Sorry about that. I didn't realise when I connected it would do that. Oh, come on. Can we get back to the Discord? Sorry, I didn't realise.
Hey guys, we'll be back.
I didn't.
The stream's gone down. What?
Hmm?
The stream's gone down.
The stream went down. It shouldn't go down.
Well, you left Discord
And then it's
because
put
you
you off.
logged in on your phone.
Okay, so that's one of the things that broke it down, was it? Okay, so try not to do that again. But it says the stream's still going.
Oh, it's still going.
There's nothing on YouTube, mate.
Oh, they could just see two boats.
Yeah, it's all right.
Ah.
We're back again. Sorry about that.
Oh, there we go.
There's a 42 million.
Oh, okay. So they had audio the entire time.
Yeah, audio. Okay.
Oh, they had some sort of audio going, yeah. But yeah,
Oh, you got to love technology.
I didn't realise. I didn't even think about it. So I just basically I wanted to show you the video I just took with Chanya. But where are we? Trying to get the pop out going again. There we go. So we got everybody on screen again. This is one of those technical things. But what I'll do now is I will pull that video off and show you what I was showing you, because you probably didn't see what I did down there.
No.
Oh my God, I completely blew the whole technical thing this time. Trying different things. We're talking about going for rides. That's something you have to set up to do, is when we go for rides, you have to set that shit up. And but yeah, doing this thing here while you're live streaming. Don't do that again, guys. End of story. Where are we?
Sorry, Chris. We're doing our best, Chris.
Chris is rather critical.
Oh, yeah.
Thumbs down.
Oh,
Yeah, thumbs down. Yeah, that's right. There we go. So I got the video. It's synced into the process. Where are we? Okay, so we go here. We go up in here, and we go into there. We go into here. Right. Yeah. So, what was I trying to show you? Okay, here we go. First, I will go down here, and
We've all got a sense of humour on this show, Chris.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at my phone, guys. I'm trying to order breakfast because I just realized how hungry I am.
you hungry? You cow!
Yeah.
You cow!
You know what else I love about Thailand? I had a hankering for a Slurpee at about 10:30 the other night. So I said to my missus, I'm going to hop on the motorbike, I'll go around to 7-Eleven. And before I even said it, she'd ordered one, and 5 seconds later, 7-Eleven delivered me a Slurpee. How about that? Gotta love Thailand.
Yeah, it's definitely way more convenient than other places I've lived.
Well, that's one thing I have been doing while I've had my downtime between cleaning and packing, is going on Google Earth, and I've got 2 locations, one where I'm staying with my Airbnb when I initially get there, and the other place that Wazza and I have looked at, which looks like the perfect place to get if I can get it, what facilities are available around. And I counted 5 7-Elevens within a 2K radius of both areas. And the first 7-Eleven is only like a 300-metre walk from the condo. So I'm going to be happy.
Okay, let me just share this screen so you can actually see it. Is that it? Go live. You got that one? You can see that? There we go. Oh, come on. Would you stay on the right one? No?
No. Oh, we're not starting
Right,
again.
everybody.
There we go. So there she is. So sexy, darling. Good. Love you. 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night, okay?
15 now?
Yeah. How many minute
Oh wow, that's fancy. It's got like a TV on it.
3 minute only, okay, yeah, 15 minutes, and you can go work, okay? Say bye-bye. There you go. So we got this treadmill. She was actually using it. It's all good. Anyway, a little bit of a technical glitch there, but we're still here. We're all good. I can always cut that bit out on the final production. But anyway, shows you the fact that this is all ad-libbed and we all make it up as we go along. Wouldn't have happened with an iMac. Come on.
If I started the stream, yes, it wouldn't have happened, but I didn't start the stream.
How much was it? Chris wants to know how much was that. That was 14,900 baht, marked down from 32,900 baht. But again, I'm pretty sure that's a Black Friday sort of type of thing where the normal price is 14,900 baht, and they put these stickers on it, which says 32,000 baht, knocked down to 14,900 baht. This is what they do on Black Friday, isn't it?
The Amazon effect.
The Amazon effect, yes. But yeah, 14,900 baht, which was 40 baht to $1,000, $40 to 1,000 baht. So 48, so $560, something like that. I don't know. My math is totally fucking ruined. Let me get the be all and end all. Okay. 14900. Let's try that again. 14900. Take one of those zeros off. $442. $442 US.
How much?
442
Is that all?
US. 621 AUD.
Geez, when I got my treadmill when I was still in defence and had to do my PT every day, it was about $2,500.
I tried a few of them in the shop there. I've got a video, so I'm going to show you that there was 5 to choose from where I've seen these, and that was like the mid-range, and the entry one felt a little bit flimsy. The next one up, I think, just looked too gaudy, too many buttons, and really doesn't affect it. But that one there just looked good, had the nice little presentation screen, which was probably, a little bit over the top, but it seemed nice and compact, and your walk position felt better than the cheap one. And then of course there was two more above those 3 prices, which I thought, well, what are you paying for there? It just didn't make much sense. But yeah, so I chose that one. Yeah,
the high-end range ones allow you to run on it, and it gives you a stability cushion as you're running. So,
those ones didn't.
Probably the
yeah, those ones didn't. But it's got the little platform risers, so you can make it go at an incline and all that little bits and pieces as well. So I thought it was pretty good. I can't complain about it. But yeah, so it's in the dining room now for the time being. It'll move into the what do you call it, the makeup room when we actually get the dining table set. But for now, it'll go in the dining room, so Mother can use it. Mother wants to get some exercise too, and that's all she does all day, apart from when she's up in Sukhothai, which is where she is now. She's gets up in the morning, does the normal little rounds of the housework, and she's sitting down all day at the sewing machine. And unlike where we were before at the other village, she would normally go out and walk down to the shops there and buy the vegetables, buy bits and pieces for the food that she's making, and but now she doesn't do that. So she does it on the motorcycle now because everything's further away. It's not walking distance anymore. So she's not getting the exercise. So they've all been complaining, so I thought I might as well do something about it. Black Friday is an American thing, although Australia has adopted. I know everybody's. It's just the commercialisation of our society, which again falls into the breakdown of our society. The whole idea of the discussion we were having was it started. I was talking to Steph in Thailand. What's his channel name? Steph Thailand. Most of you probably know the channel anyway. He's from Germany, or he's Dutch or something. I can't remember what his nationality is. But we were just talking about it because he wants me to help him sort of run a new program he's running, which I'm trying to say, God, you don't realise how busy a retiree can be here in Australia, in this wonderful land. You know, where am I going to get an extra 8 hours a day? You know, I'm sorry, I just can't. You know, anyway, that aside, we were just talking about, you know, like we're just reflecting on life. You know, okay, for me in a new village, you know, I don't know anybody. I can wave to a few people that now know we live here, but outside that, I've got no idea of their names. You know, reflecting back on the whole, you know, when I was growing up, you know, you knew all the people in the street. You know, like where I lived in Hornsby Heights, and I knew the Ryans, I knew the Smiths, that's the Smiths. I just forgot his the Bishops, the Smitherans. I can't remember the end street now because that changed 3 times. And the Whites, the Whiffins, anyway, I'm thinking back 30, 40 years now. I'm just trying to remember all the, you know, get the idea. Barry Kathner's. Anyway, you knew all the parents' names, Mr. and Mrs., and then you knew all the kids' names, Michael and Gabriel and Diane and Leonie and Robert and Stephen, and you get the idea. You just knew everybody. What's happened to our society these days? Where, you know, I was just asking Brandon before we started the stream. What about you? How many people do you know? You know, in your own building, the guy above you. That's probably because you're hitting the ceiling with the broom. Shut the fuck up, you know. Is that right?
Not quite. That old. Just they were moving in kind of, I don't know, about a month after we moved in, and just said hey to him one day, and then they gave me these 2 little potted plants as a hello. And
well, that's nice. Yeah. Okay. Are they still alive, those plants?
Surprisingly, yeah. Like I have not been able to keep plants alive ever, and I've actually got I don't know what the proper name is for it, but this wandering Jew that is just taking over my one entire window in the living room, and then these 2 little succulents.
So you don't remember the Day of the Triffids at all? You know, like, you know, or the Little Shop of Horrors. You know, remember, it's going to turn into one of those plants and eat you.
Oh. I mean, at least it'll be pretty.
Well, you do realise that plants and trees, they are actually farming us, don't you? You know that, don't you? You know, they give us oxygen, they make us grow, and eventually we decompose into plant food.
It's weird that you bring up plants, because I had a really messed up dream last night about like plants turning into like creatures and nobody noticing it but me. And I'm trying like to kill all these little creatures, and then it was one of those dreams where I died at the end of the dream by like this like plant. I think it was actually a fruit. So it was it was a dragon fruit that turned into this creature and then went for my jugular, and then wound up dying.
Yeah, Robert's also saying, I agree, Warren, I've never been so busy in my life. Retirement is hard. That's the video I've got in the can here. We're talking about retirement a little bit, so that's the next video that's coming out as well. But yeah, it's the time. I have less time now than I did when I was working.
Well, I tried to ring Robert Groves the other day, and I went through to a lady who said, "Hello, Robert Groves' phone. Can I take a message?" And I said, "I'd like to call Robert." And he said, "Well, he's available February the 29th between the hours of 9 and 9:10. Would you like to schedule a call back?" So I know that bloke's pretty busy.
Pretty busy, yes.
Yes.
So you got 10 minutes, I only got 5.
Oh, wow. Well, I had to bribe his PA. I had to bribe his PA. So PayPal account to Robert Groves's PA.
Really?
If you need it, get an extra 5 minutes.
Yeah, well,
he's confirmed. I've been waiting for the confirmation. So yeah, thanks, Robert. Confirmed for that telephone call next February. Excellent. That bloke's busy as.
Yeah. So Robert's
busy as a one-hand bloke clapping, as they say.
Yeah, and Robert's is saying everybody knows us here. So this is our family now, and the family does get bigger as we go along. People who are not shy to come on camera, they come on camera. You can come on, you don't have to put the camera on. The link is in the description box below of the video if you really want to try it out. It's best to try the whole thing out before we do the live stream, because we can't stop and give you a hand setting things up if you're new to Discord. I was trying to explain that to Steph as well, and Steph sort of saying, I don't like Discord. That's a thing for gamers. Yeah, it's like what we're talking about this morning, Todd, was people think that YouTube SEO is all about tags and doing certain things to their video uploads to try to trick the SEO. Doesn't work anymore. It's a completely different world we live in now. The SEO is an AI that actually watches everybody's video, and that's how it works out what videos you'll be presented next. Doesn't matter.
Discord is really trying to rebrand itself away from just being for gamers. They changed it. What was it? 6 months ago or something. Maybe it was a year ago. I don't know. COVID time. I can't. Oh,
exactly.
I said that word.
Yeah, and they're Sean there. Yeah. But so that they're rebranding themselves. There we go. We've almost got. We need 2 more. We've got to get this screenshot of 2 more with the Brady.
I'm ready and waiting with the Brady Bunch theme song. Trust me.
The Brady Bunch.
Got the finger almost.
But yeah, you get a Sean. How you doing?
Yeah, doing all right. Got my Thailand pass. See you guys in a few weeks.
Really cool.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Get over here before this beat of this new South African variant starts spreading.
Oh yeah,
they'll be shutting everything else down again. Randy just trying to get things open. They'll be shutting things down again. Oh my God! So convenient how it just seems to think. You almost think like it happened last year. You almost think it's just getting better, and all of a sudden, bang! That's it. Lockdown again. Just get used to it.
A little too convenient sometimes.
Yeah, there's some little Chinese bloke in the back room somewhere. There's some little Chinese bloke in the back room. He's actually making new versions of this virus that they made back in three years ago. This will stuff him up. He might not be Chinese. He might be American. You never know. It's the way this stuff.
I've got to
be all in cahoots.
Those Americans.
That's it. Those bloody Americans. You don't trust them either. They're as bad as each other. It's probably Russia. I bet you it's Russia's making all these variants just to fuck everybody else out. Old school gear jammer, long. It's on purpose. It is on purpose. Australia has banned people from Africa coming in. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I think we're going to see a complete. We were sort of saying that we need to look at making endemics as opposed to pandemics. Shut the borders down, let every country deal with it internally. But again, Thailand pretty much did that. But the one thing they didn't do, they didn't stop the illegal border crossings, which has been going on for, how many centuries, how many decades. And of course, once the coup in Myanmar started, and the fact that we have a higher income level of basic wages here in Thailand than we do in Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar, well, they all, guess what? People follow the money. It's like big business. Follow the money. Well, the little people do that as well. They just run across the border. It's only a river stopping them. If you can swim, that's it. You can come to Thailand. They're not stopping that. And so that's where most of our problems have occurred. The international influx, that's not our issue. The influx is the illegal labour sort of stuff that we're dealing with here in Thailand. Big business. They need building done. I don't know why they keep on building shit, right? Nobody's coming to go into these buildings, but they keep on building skyscrapers, and they need manual labour to sit there and pour the concrete and shit like that. And of course,
yeah, it's interesting to see how many big projects are going on around Bangkok. Like you look, right next to Soi 7, right next to Nana BTS, you've got at 2 different towers, actually. Yeah. 2 different business towers that, one's nearly complete, and the other one that's, just the foundations there. Then you've got the one Bangkok over by Silom, it's Lumpini MRT. Yeah. And then you've got the new Queen Sirikit Center that's going up. So, I mean, there's a ton of development that's going on here, even with everything still kind of closed.
And half the condos that have been built in the last 3 years are empty because the Chinese can't come here. Well, the Chinese can come here, but they might have 1-day quarantine here. But anybody leaving China has got to force 14 days in prison when they come back, and so most people in China aren't coming here, which was their basic tourists. Chinese just aren't leaving. That's end of story. They're just not going here. What do you do about that?
I mean, they might be building it for the future. There were just talks. I only saw the headline. I didn't actually look at the content of the article. But there was talks about the railway between Thailand and China through Laos. So, I mean, future, maybe that'll increase tourism from China here. I know.
Yeah, it sounds like possible, yeah.
I noticed today they've put the financial requirement up from 800,000 baht to 1.2 million now, if you want a retirement visa. Have you guys seen that?
No, I haven't seen it, but I think in Australia we've sort of seen the 800,000 became $1 million, but it doesn't affect anybody who is already here. What's written on the immigration website here is valid, right? And it's still 800,000 internal. There are sort of different things coming up other different places, and I don't know what the reason is behind that. I think that's for people coming here. The only thing that's really changed is the health insurance issue, but it doesn't really worry.
On the Thai website now, it clearly states 1.2 million. So
the American
$34,000.
The American embassy Thai website.
I don't know which one. Yeah. I've been looking at so many today, but I think it was actually the Thai one, but in the English language section.
Yeah, well, I do keep a check on it every so often. IMIGRATION. Talk amongst yourself while I bring that up.
Well, I did notice on the Thailand Pass website where you go and book Thailand Pass, they've put a filter on that if you're arriving after the 15th December, they won't be processing your Thailand Pass 1st of December. I think they've been inundated with people to get the next 4 to 8 weeks, and they're only focusing on people that need to get them within the next 14 days. So that's one sort of big change that I've seen on the Thailand Pass website.
I actually, we were speaking before you came on air, but I spoke to a hotel about 15 minutes ago using WhatsApp, and then they don't actually want me to pay, which is great. They're going to send me a confirmation anyway, because they said with the new rules coming out on the 16th of December, they're not sure how much they're going to charge now. Remember they were talking about there's no need to be quarantined because they're going to change the PCR test to a quicker test.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Of course, I already paid last week.
Well, I've paid as well, but well, I guess no, I haven't really, have I? No, but you know what I mean. So it's changing all the time, but
yeah.
That's the only constant in Thailand, is that change is constant.
That's right. Keeps you young and vibrant and sort of on top of things. You got to stay focused on what's going on.
One of the most interesting places in the world, and I'm not getting bored here.
No, you definitely don't appear to get bored with changes, because once you're sort of settled into a routine, something happens and you've got to reinvigorate your routine because the goalposts have shifted.
Yeah. So there's that one there from Thailand Immigration. It says must be granted non-immigration visa, must be 50 years of age, must have evidence of income no less than 65,000 baht, 800,000 baht in the bank. So immigration Thailand hasn't changed, and there will be other websites that have different information, but this is the one from Thailand Immigration. Immigration.go.th is the legitimate website. If you're looking at any information elsewhere, then you're looking at the wrong stuff. But again, you can see they have, I think, an alien who entered the kingdom before October 21, 1998 has been consecutively permitted to stay in the kingdom for retirement shall be following criteria. Must be 60 years of age over and have a fixed income or funds of a bank account for the past 3 months, 200,000 baht. But they have 500,000 baht, as opposed to the 800,000 baht is their requirement. So we could sort of see very well in the next couple of years, but you get grandfathered in for when you come. So if you come here on retirement, the only time that would change is if you left the country and then reapplied, that grandfathering doesn't apply. But if you've been here since 1998, you've only have to have 500,000 baht, and I think before then, I think it's even less. But I don't know. That's probably those people who come before 1998. They're probably dead now anyway. Who knows? But there might be a special.
I thought Thailand was the well of life. I thought you meant to get younger the longer you stay in Thailand.
Growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional. That's my statement. I'm sticking to it. Yeah. Yeah, Ralph, 800,000 and now 1.2 in a bank account that earns, but as I said, it's not relevant for if you're in Thailand and you're grandfathered in. There will be changes, and I'm sure that those changes will be, reflected. It looks like they're starting to come in now, but again, don't worry about it. You want to come, you want the 800,000, get here now. Just if you don't have the money, then you don't have the money, that's all.
Because of all the difficulties I've had actually getting the OA visa over here before I come, I'm actually going to be applying for it when I arrive there on the 17th. And hopefully it'll still be the 800,000 baht. But you know what? If you can afford 800,000 baht, you can probably afford 1.2 million. So it's not really a worry.
Ideally, so what you need to do is just, get here, get a bank account set up within the first week. How long did it take to get your bank account set up, Cody?
It was pretty easy. Yeah. Okay. It was easy because I had help from somebody who knew exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
So, what I had to do was I had to go to, I had to get a letter of,
residency.
Basically, residency. So, and that's when I was staying with Tim and his wife. And so I got her to sign her, it was one of the IDs she had to sign, and she had to sign like her passport or something else. And I think it was like her Thai ID and her Thailand
bond,
yeah.
And then basically had me registered as their house guest on a TM30 and took those documents as well as my passport. And I need anything else from me. I think my passport, just my visa stamp, and and that TM6 you get at the airport. So I had to have copies of all of those. Take that to immigration, and then get that certificate of residency. That's what it's called. And there's two different types. There's one for a bank account, and there's one for a driver's license. I actually got both of them, but I couldn't get a driver's license because, they were closed. So instead, I went to the Bangkok bank, and with that information, they pretty much went, "Oh, okay, no problem." And 30 minutes later, and a stack of paper that big, had a bank account.
What visa did you have when you got the bank account?
I had a TR visa.
Same as I'm going to have when I get there. Then.
Yeah, because I came here on a TR visa and then eventually did COVID extension and then switched to education visa. So it was no problem on the TR visa with Bangkok Bank in Hua Hin. I'll stipulate all of those specifics. And that's actually when I was living in Cha Am. So I even got a bank account in Hua Hin when my residence was in Cha Am at that point. So just to add an interesting little, wrench in the works is they even allowed that no problem, which looking back on it kind of surprised me. Then once I had that bank account, I had to create another bank account in Bangkok, because either that or I'd have to go back to Hua Hin and open the bank account, because the tricky thing with banks is where you set up your branch, that's like your home branch. So if I wanted to change, because I wanted to change the Union Pay card to a Visa or MasterCard debit card, and I moved to Bangkok, so I went to the Asok branch and I said, hey, can I do this? And they're like, well, no, you have to go to Hua Hin if you want to change it. However, we can open a new account for you. I'm like, okay. And luckily I had all the documents from my school that day because I had just been there. And so they saw the documents, they took the documents from that, and no problem. Opened up a new account. Then eventually that didn't fix the problem that I was having. So I had to open up another account.
What was that problem, Cody?
Oh, I just wanted to buy games on Steam with Thai bot. I wanted to buy games on Steam with Thai bot, and this turned into just a fucking nightmare. It was, oh my god! I think I went into it a live stream or two ago, but so I'm not going to rehash it anyway.
Video games are cheaper here in Thailand than they are in the US. Yeah. End of story. And we're saving maybe 25% of $20.
Yeah. So, but the ease of opening the accounts once I had that one account, and then going to Casacorn and opening that account was actually pretty easy too. The one thing is I had to have an appointment, so I tried to just go into a branch. And lady's like, do you have an appointment? And I'm like, no. but that I looked confused and like a lost puppy enough and big eyes that she's like, okay, we'll make an appointment for you at this other branch. Like, okay. And then I go to the other branch and it looks like it's gonna be 2-hour wait, and then somehow I leapfrogged in front of everybody with my appointment or something. I don't know how that worked, but I forget what documents I had to have. I brought my TM30. Always, whenever you do anything, bring your TM30. It's just important. That's the most important. Obviously, passport, the documents on your passport, TM30. Bring those, and you should be golden if you've got those. Except if it's weird circumstances. Like there was one time I was trying to open up something else and I needed this letter from my school, but they still wouldn't let me open an account with True Wallet even with that. So I don't know what's up. Anyway, tangent over, please.
They are difficult. But Robert's mentioned something there. They are the same certificates, Cody, but you can only use it for one thing, not two. This is one of the reasons. Yeah. This is one of the reasons why the Tabian Barn is so useful, because it overrides the need for a residency certificate.
I want to say one thing to that. Sorry to interject, Robert. When I got mine, it said two different things. One said specifically for a bank account, and then the other ones either said it was a generic one or it was for a driver. I think there was a generic one and then a bank account one. But when I got the certificate of residences, they were two different ones but required the same paperwork. So
Yeah.
I distinctly remember that part about it. So I think and I think the specific one was the bank account one was a specific one, and then the driver's license one was for something else. Now, would the bank have taken just the other one that was the generic one? Maybe. I don't know that because I didn't do that.
Yeah. The only time I've had to deal with is when I got my license transferred from Australia to Thailand, where the agent did it all for me and no questions asked. But ever since then I've had the Tabian Barn, which basically makes those residency certificates superfluous. And you just show your Tabian Barn, you show your capping card, no problem.
It's almost why I've considered buying property here, just to get that. But
well,
it's probably a stupid reason to buy something.
If you're in a condo and you've got a long-term lease, they are, in sort of most circumstances, required to go through the process. The trouble is, the process is convoluted for them because you need 3 witnesses, which are Thai, who know you for a period of time. This is why the Tabian Barn can be a problem. In my case, it was Chanya, it was Chanya's brother and Chanya's father. They were the 3 witnesses. There was absolutely no paperwork for me to sign when I got the Tabian Barn. I just showed up. I'm just there. End of this is me here. Applying, right. The only thing they wanted from me was some printed photos from our Facebook feed of, from the last 5 years of, us being together, photos of me with father and family and mother and, get the idea. They just wanted to see some photos evidence, but I didn't have to sign a damn thing. It was them basically.
Yeah, see, the owner of my condo is American.
Yeah, but he's not here.
I'm guessing resides in LA. So for everything, as soon as you have something that's not regularly in that it screws up the whole works. So
yeah, that's it. It does.
Yeah.
So you've got basic. This, of course, he came over. You've got no chance of getting a Tabian Barn from your owner, but you may be able to get one from the condo. What they call freehold, condo owner. I don't know, but that's even more complicated because they don't know you from a bar of soap. So you got to pay the money every time. So, but they're single use. I do know that they're single use now.
Yeah, they are. Robert is right about that. They are single use. You can't go, oh, I've got this, let me use it here.
Yeah, they're only valid for 30 days as well.
And it's got
so even if you do get them issued, you've got to do all your paperwork within 30 days or that certificate is no longer valid.
What was the 13,000 baht fine? Did you buy more drinks last night, Niall?
No, he's not talking about his bar fine, he's talking about his almost overstay fine.
Almost overstay fine. Okay.
Oh yeah, that story. Oh my God, poor Niall. Well, I mean, he got lucky, but
what happened there? Okay.
Man, that was a scary story.
This is last night.
I mean, honestly, he should tell it.
Niall should just go out and buy about a handful of Thai lottery tickets because he's deserved some good karma back.
So I'm just trying to see what he's sort of saying there. I'm confused as hell. My last visa stamp said I was good in October, but the agent said I had to check in again in 90 days and gave me a receipt saying November 29th. I thought it was good until then. So I was 26 days overstay, 4 more wanted them and kicked it. Really? That sounds like a paperwork issue that wasn't done properly. But anyway, you can't fault the Thais for doing something wrong. Thais never do anything wrong. You usually double check everything. Like when I got here, 5 years ago, I've got a 1-year visa, and the guys going through the aisle, the entry visa stamped my book for a 30-day, on visa exempt stamp. That was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
That was my fault. How am I supposed to? How am I supposed to know that they put the wrong stamp in? I should have handed the thing there with the thing open at my 1-year visa and indicated to them I need the correct stamp when I'm coming in. But no, Thais can't be ever faulted for doing something wrong. I'm sorry. So I had to go through the convoluted process of getting that stamp rectified. It didn't cost me anything apart from a trip, a special trip to Chanya, which was, at the best of times, the worst of times. But yeah, again, this is the way we got to deal with it. The breakdown of society. Oh my God, this wouldn't happen 30 years ago, would it? 40 years ago?
Well, that's one thing I am keeping my eye out on, is that visa coming in, having the right page open and making sure I get that right.
Yeah.
The amount of hassle the amount of hassle I've gone through to get this visa, I want it stamped correctly on the passport when I come in.
Yeah, mistakes. Mistakes can't happen. Thais don't make mistakes. You made a mistake by not telling them the fact you're here on a specific visa. Not their mistake.
Cody, how easy was it getting an extension on the tourist visa for you?
The tourist visa extension, it was easy, but I had a complication. My complication was my agent, when I rented the place that I rented in Hua Hin, I was like, hey, I need a why is this escaping me?
TM30.
I need a TM30. And she's like, okay, because they're obligated to provide one. Well, week 1 goes by, no TM30. Week 2 goes by, no TM30. And I'm like, it's getting close. It's within 14 days of I need to leave Thailand. And finally, I had to threaten her. I had to go. I sent a message that was pretty much, if you don't give me this, I am not paying rent and I am leaving. I had, in order to get that, finally I got a message back that was like, oh, okay, I will drive you to immigration and I will sort this out for you. So that TM30 it's annoying because it's not something that you can be responsible for. It's not something that you have control of, but you have to have it. Now, luckily, when I rented this place, with all of my rental stuff that I got the second day after I moved in, I had the TM30. It was more professional deal than who I went through in Hua Hin. So just be aware of that and be ready to hassle them over that TM30. But the actual act of that extension was easy for the TR visa extension. The COVID extension, I, of course, had complications with because they said
COVID extension. What do you mean?
So right now, and they're probably going to be discontinuing it soon. Well, who knows with the new variant and blah blah blah. But they've been doing this thing where it's been a 60-day, what they call. I forget what the term is, but everybody calls it the COVID extension. And basically, what it really is unable to travel due to COVID. Technically, you can travel, but if you say, I don't want to travel or whatever because of COVID, you can get an extension.
Is that the 45-day thing?
No, it's a 60-day.
COVID extension.
It depends on where you are, because sometimes it's not 60 days. Sometimes it's 30 days. It depends on province. But the issue that I had with that, and it was specifically the Prachuap Khiri Khan office, they wanted to see a letter from my embassy basically stating that I couldn't travel. And well, none of the embassies are giving out letters. They know that. So I printed out a thing from the U.S. Embassy website that said that they don't issue letters. Brought it in with all of my other paperwork that I needed. And they were like, nope, that's not good enough. Well, we have to have it, a letter from your embassy saying that we don't issue letters. It's like, what the hell? the only thing worse than dealing with Thai bureaucracy is dealing with U.S. bureaucracy. So go to the website, and of course, there's no way to really contact the U.S. Embassy right now unless it's like, it's drop-down menus, like I have to contact you make an appointment for these specific reasons. And that letter is not one of the things as a drop-down because they don't want to deal with that. Finally, after searching for hours on the website and like some convoluted, 15 different clicks and pages to get through, I finally found like the emergency, like your family member is dying, we need to transport the body out of Thailand email. That's the emergency email, and I send them a message going, yeah, all right, I'm not gonna get shit back from that. But I get an automated response that says word for word the same thing that the FAQ says on the website. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll print that out. So I print that out, and it has the email address at the top. So it's like a screenshot print. It's not the body of the email. I have the whole email, the whole content, and bring that to them. And they're like, oh, it's from the, from the embassy email. Okay, no problem. Same information. Same information.
Yeah.
And that's that, So be ready. Like if you do that, be ready for that hoop. But that was a situation very specific to me, that office. I don't think I was an asshole to anyone. I'm usually not. So there's also that factor that you all, when somebody tells you a story of their problems, you always have to go like, were you a dick? I'm pretty sure I wasn't. I will say that every time I went back to the immigration office, I tried to wear progressively nicer clothing. So maybe it was that. Maybe it was, yeah.
But there is
ready to get through hoops.
There is a level of xenophobia here in Thailand, and we have to deal with that. It's not like we've got 6 legs or 7 legs and we look like spiders or something like that. Basically, we're Western foreigners, and I think half the problem again stems from the fact that they're not confident that they can not embarrass themselves to speak enough English to deal with the problems. And invariably, this is totally the wrong attitude, because I've managed to glean information. So it depends on the situation. I can sort of encourage them to then speak in English. And they go, they get a smile across their face and they start talking English to you. But no, I don't speak Thai. But I do speak Thai, but I'd rather speak in English because I can express myself better. But their level of expression...
It's the technical conversation versus the non-technical conversation. It's like, if we're having a discussion about what food that you've eaten, all day yesterday and what you're going to do today, sure, I'll speak Thai. But if we're going to have a conversation about how to resolve a technical issue, like that's hopeless.
Let me get my Google Translator out and we'll try to do the best we can,
and Google is...
And that's very hard to do. And when I got a camera in one hand and I got, I just can't do that when I'm shooting a video. And don't forget, my videos I'm making for a Western audience. I'm not going to speak Thai to a Western audience. I've said that enough times. I've sort of almost gone hoarse with that whole idea. People says, why don't you? I still get the occasional, drop kick that jumps on the channel and says, why don't you speak better Thai? Why don't you speak Thai? Because I'm freaking talking to you in a video and you're English. If I spoke Thai, that means more work for me to sit there and write subtitles, and I'm not going to do that. Just go jump.
I think a lot of people that say that might not be in Thailand too. I think even myself, I was more critical about people not speaking Thai in Thailand before I came to Thailand, or before I started living in Thailand. And it's easy for me to understand living here why people don't speak Thai. For me, though, I want there's a certain level when I talk to people. There's a certain level of things that I want to do here, and that's why I also want to speak Thai. It's like I want to be able to get a true wallet eventually, to get my stupid line pay thing working. And I'm pretty sure that to finally figure those out, I'll need Thai. I want to figure out how to use the points at 7-Eleven. You know, and every time I tried to inquire about that in English, it was like, but do I need those to exist in Thailand? No, I don't need those to exist in Thailand. But it's like it's probably my personality type, and it's stuff specific to me. Whereas, you know, that's not specific to other people. Like, and that's a choice people make, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It just is a thing. And people get overcritical about it with other people. And it's
my choice is I love languages. I'll get culturally immersed and understand the language, because I want to get culturally immersed. You do need a level of the local language, the local interaction. You can stay in your tourist zones. You can have your 4 or 5 days. And as we were talking for the live stream, Thailand is tourist based, has been for years and years and years, and they're seeing the effects of having their economy go hand in glove tourism industry. But I don't want to sort of do the tourist areas. I'll spend 1 or 2 days and go, okay, I've been to Patio now, I've been to here, I've been there, I've seen it and experienced it. But out in Nakhon Pathom area, as you said the other day in one of your videos, it is country. You go 15 minutes north and you see nothing but paddy fields and rice.
Rice everywhere. The occasional banana tree or
cow there, and it's the lifestyle that I want. So they're sort of suppose used to using English on a day-to-day basis is going to be very minimal. So for me to be able to immerse myself in that particular environment, as Cody said, the language does help you. Even if it's like 5%, you initiate a conversation, you make the effort, and the conversation seems to blossom from there.
Well, Todd, if we finally get a chance to meet when I'm over there, I'll be happy to teach you English, mate.
Which one? Your broken UK English or your American slang English?
Depends how many beers I've had.
And
so if I learn that's 3 more languages under my belt.
Andy says he's bilingual: Australia, English, New Zealand, Canadian, USA. So he's got 5 languages under his belt. I've got extras as well. I've got geek, I've got techno, I've got a little bit of Thai, I've got a little bit of German as well. So there you go. I've got 9 languages under my belt.
just don't try and learn Scottish, mate.
Oh, that's right. That's the 10th language. I keep on forgetting about the Scottish. Oh, hi, it's probably.
I know a little C++.
Oh, you know another language as well. There you go. So we know lots of languages, just not useful in day-to-day ordering food. But all right, g'day you both. There you go. Again, let's plug the channel. So, like as I said, I should make a list of these things. You're free to come on and hang out with the group here. This is our clubhouse, which is again the story today was about breakdown of society, and part of the breakdown of society is people just don't know who the fuck they're talking with these days online with this modern day society. I do want to play that video. Let me see if I can get this video, because this is a classic This is a classic example. Let me see if I can sort of minimize that down to the right size. Where have we got? We've got a pin properly. Got a pin up to the top. Stay on top. Okay. Let me just pull that image. Oh, come on. Can we do this properly? Let's go to here. Well, let's get the video up. Where are we? Sorry for the clumsiness. So I did have this all prepared at some stage, but then of course I got sidetracked.
You got wombated by the treadmill, mate.
I did.
Not to it.
Let's put a pause on this thing here. No, somehow I've lost you guys again. Where's the... Where did that go to? Where did that go to? I want this one here. That should be on top. Stay on top. No, it should be stay on top, but it's not doing the stay on top thing. What is it doing? That should stay on top. Yes, it does. Okay. Right, now, g'day. Oh, thanks to you both. Good on you, buddy. Yeah, there is a super chat thing if you want to, give us a tip. But this little video, now I have to do this in little spurts because, if I do it continuous, for the whole 60 seconds, it'll probably strike for some sort of copyright reason, so I'll do little bits as we go. But I want to share it with the guys here as well so they can see what I'm sharing. So share that screen back to them. Yeah. So they can see the video as well. Now we've got the audio on.
Okay, Davey, good game. You gonna be on tonight? Yeah, definitely. Cool, see you later.
So this is an advertisement for Oculus Rift, which is a 3D VR experience.
My pal, best friend,
Pass it!
yeah!
So they've just passed each other in the hallway. They don't know them.
That's how it's done.
In the lift. Who the fuck's this guy?
Play one more after this?
Yeah, one more. Yeah, I mean, actually, that was the first time I got my heart broken.
Well,
They're given personal stories, their personal life.
Oh, that got deep all of a sudden.
There they are. They don't know each other.
Get nippy out.
So what? Right there. Got him.
That's another thing you'll get when you're online community. You'll get people sort of impersonating the opposite sex. They wouldn't know who they
Oi! Keep it down!
No, you keep it down.
Sorry, neighbors.
I know. I can't stand mine either.
Where were we?
Winning.
Oh, yes.
Let's get back.
Yeah.
I just thought that was the most appropriate way. Actually, Brandon thought it was the most appropriate little video to use in this situation. But it is. It's the sort of state of society we have these days. We communicate with people on Facebook now. Generally, 95% of the time, the people you're talking with on Facebook, you have had some sort of communication with. But in my channel, there, Facebook is a medium, because I'm, what they call an influencer, I'm trying to create family, bond, community. So I've got to be on the platforms that you'll meet people on, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But I'm certainly not going to go and jump on Grindr or Twitter. What are those, all those other apps? Swipe Life. I'm trying to think what they're called. Thai friendly.
I don't know.
The dating apps?
Dating apps, yeah. I'm not going to go to those places. Grindr,
Tinder.
Tinder was the one I was thinking of. Grindr's the one for gay. How did I think of that one first? But
You're giving it all away now,
giving it all away now. But yeah, so I'm not going to go there and try to build community because the fact that I think that community needs to be sort of dealt with with a big stick sometimes. But the social people, their social areas, it's where you meet people. But ideally, sort of, the crowd here is focused around the YouTube genre, which is because we're on the YouTube. But we are building a community. There's a lot of people coming and going on a regular basis. They do find Discord very challenging because it's a technical, it's a technical thing, which Discord are working their best to try to simplify that process. And I do think it is getting simpler. But again, people are, people in, the plus 40 group, are still in sort of some respects, computers are for business, this sort of headspace. Computers are business, right? Why do I want to go and talk to people in my business? This is business dealt with sort of shit. These are acquaintances, they're not friends, and they have this mindset. And so we have this paradigm of the society is drifting away from, being human to a certain degree, into the fact that, well, who are you? I said in that video there, they live next door to each other. They've never even talked to each other, and they think they're each other. Each one of them thinks the other one's an arsehole because they don't shut up, and they're playing on the. It's just, this is what you got with society these days. You don't know who you are, you don't know where they are. You go into something like Star Citizen, you got all these female characters running around. Although I've played female characters in certain games as well, I like to look at a female's ass rather than a guy's ass, because most of those 3D views, you're looking at yourself all the time. You might as well look at a girl rather than a guy. But in Star Citizen, it's a first-person view. While you're running around, you don't see yourself unless, of course, you're specifically going into a third-person view, which you can't really do anything. That's a bit weird. But I'm pretty sure there's...
Yeah, all your UI and everything is just gone.
Yeah, that's it. So what is it with the female character? I think they call it... there is a word for it. I'd have to go and look it up. But there is a word for it. They like to see themselves as a female. That's people get on Chanya's case about gender dysphoria. Right? Well, there's a lot of half of the gaming society has a different dysphoria, which is they see themselves online as being the opposite of sex. Now, how different is that from transgender? When it comes to the psychological profiles. You've got to ask that, Well, I think we make up words just to put people in boxes. Let's just break down the boxes in our society, right? The boxes in our society define the wrong ideas in society, right? We've got our Discord community. This is our place. This is our hangout. You can come and go as you please. The more you hang out here, the more you can get involved, and you can be moderators and get certain levels of, whatever. Don't want to teach you that shit today. That's something I can teach down the track when we're not on Chatterbait. What's that? I've seen that one. That's a bit weird.
What was it that started when I Hot or Not? The beginning of the 2000s.
Chatterbait's great, mate.
Chatterbait, thankfully, I've seen the place, but no, I'm sorry, I can't find that interesting to chat.
No, it's not chat. I mean, Chatterbait is one of those online porn sites, a bit like OnlyFans, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you get all kinds of stuff on it.
I do remember back in the 90s we had a thing. We had a thing called Camfrog, and I think Camfrog's still out there, but they started charging you to host a room. And back in the 90s, this is what 90s, the 2000s, it's not that long ago, really, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and we had a Camfrog room, and it was just a smoker's den. You'd put your cam on, you'd go in there, and you got your bong, and you make your mix, and you're sitting there, and you'd go around the circle, blah, 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 and then Cody would go blah, 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 and then Coke, and then blah, blah, blah. You'd go around the circle like you would in a normal sort of drug den where you'd all get wasted, but you'd do it online. It's just the crazy shit we used to do back then. Oh my god. So Wazza isn't woke. No, I look woke and wake. Yeah, like there is a wake up. We need to wake the society up out of their misconception of the fact that Facebook is free. And Twitter is free. Yes, they are free to look at, but they're only free because you're the product that they're selling. Come on. Discord's free, but you're not the product. You're the gang. It does help our channel. The more, as I said, if I get to 1,000 people subscribed on my channel with a regular Hangout, I get the next level in the community server where they'll actually promote my server for free. But you need a certain level. You got to grow your community. It takes a while to grow your community. But this is only just makes it the fact that you have more people that you don't know joining. At least here we've got enough people that are joining that really have a context that they're joining because they know the YouTube channel. And of course, Cody and Brandon, they have a YouTube channel together as well, but they don't put their Discord server public for people to join in. They've got to reach certain levels of communication first before you get invited to that. And again, everybody here, once they get to know you, then you might get an invite, but I'm not invited. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's how Discord works. It's back more to the IRC days. You get, you got to be known. I remember more of the BDSM days. You'd go to the Hellfire Club. The Hellfire Club was the public venue where you would meet the fringe dwellers. And if you regularly went to the Hellfire, then after about 6 months, you might have got invited to the chamber, or you might have got invited to this or invited to that, but you've got to be a regular attendee, coming up, properly dressed, properly participating in the event, right? That weeds people out, because we had a big problem in the 2000s when that 50 Shades of Grey was released. Oh my God, the release of that book, right, doubled the people turning up at Hellfire in all this strange garb who wanted to play. Who the fuck are you? You've read one book about BDSM, which was, literary. It's not how the real community works, and you expect to get invited? No, you got to learn to play nice first, And again, this is what Discord's a little bit about, Part of the induction is getting used to the fact that it's a technical thing, It's a technical challenge to be part of it, which means you have a certain level of intelligence. Thankfully, most of the idiots and trolls out there, they don't have enough, neural connections to work it out.
It's also about building trust, just getting to know people, and then,
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey was a joke, and I've still got the movie. I've got the movie on my library. I still haven't watched it. I've been meaning to go and actually see what it, because I remember reading bits of the book, and I'm going, oh, this is bullshit,
It can't be as good as Emmanuel. Remember when that came out?
Black Emmanuel, White Emmanuel, or The Story of O.
Emmanuel, the movies.
The story of O. I've got The Story of O, I think, on my library. That was an interesting French adaptation of that sort of idea. I think done way better than 50 Shades of Grey. We're just drifting off into porn. Let's not drift off into porn. BDSM is not about porn, I'm sorry.
No, I just remember a survey that was done when the World Wide Web became popular. I mean, I remember using it through my tech stuff and through work before it was known as the World Wide Web. But they did this survey and they said 95% of internet users only use it for.
Well, yeah, I think the world global numbers 70%, but
that's changed now. But this is back when it was promoting the World Wide Web.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
I would agree with that assessment back in the 90s. I would absolutely agree with that assessment in the 90s.
Yeah, but it's now channeled off where we can actually do things like this. Is like a gang at a pub having a couple of beers, just talking about what's on their mind.
Well,
and it's harder to find like-minded people living in the same street.
Yeah.
So we're thousands of kilometres or miles to the country you were from, away from each other, but we can still have some pretty good, interesting, intelligent conversations via this platform.
Yeah.
So the socialisation of being in the proximity of someone, but I don't think the socialisation of like-minded people with similar interests is broken down. You just got different avenues to communicate your interests, your hobbies, your likes.
Yeah. was it Andy? I might go woke and change my name to I'm a dickhead. When you say hello to me, see how things go. Oh my God. What is it with okay, I have a pseudonym that I use in the gaming community, but again, there is a lot of depth to the choice of name that I use, and I'm not going to go into it today. But how many people I must see I meet on a daily basis. Okay, I know you there in that name, and on here you're this name, and on Facebook you're that name, and oh my God, it does my head in trying to keep track of who everybody is. So if I forget people's names, it's because of the fact that I just don't keep a list. I know you as this person on Facebook, I know you as this person on YouTube. If you come on here...
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What
are you doing?
I'm sorry. I feel targeted by this. Yep, that's me.
I was scared when I first started chatting with Cody. I mean, got a nickname Psycho. I mean, what's going to go on here?
Yeah, that's it. But
it's called. I haven't changed my name since I was 13 years old. So, you get a certain amount of reputation and for your name. So it's like, screw it, I'm gonna keep it.
But it's all right. Once you get to know them and you got the connection made, it's good. That's one of the things you'll have to do when you come on to our Discord channel. A just brief description of where you're coming from, just so we get an idea, so that I can you're XYZ on YouTube, or you're this person on Facebook, and you're this person thing, and this is the name you've chosen, because we get some. What have we got recently? If I go back to Discord. Most recent this week, not trying to diss anybody, but Dayo, Dayo doesn't register anything, The Cook, Mopo, I've spoken with Scooter, we just sort of said a few things. I've got an idea who Scooter is. Still haven't formed that, that connection there. This 1360172839. I have no idea. That's some sort of cryptic puzzle to solve. Jen Desperado, I know him, because he's a gamer. Kimbo, we know Kimbo. Astra, don't know Astra. You get the idea, at least Brian B came on and he used his name Brian B. It's not his real name, but at least I know him in YouTube as Brian B. So it's cool, It helps. KFC in the hood.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
In the hood. Yeah. You get the idea.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah. So, unless
but
of course,
do people still want that level of anonymity? Was it?
Well, I don't know. You're coming onto a place where you want to get known and become, part of the community.
Then but still, maybe you want to be known here, but you don't want to be known there. And it's like,
say so. But write a message. The only place they can write a message is in the introduce yourself. So they've got to write a message just so that we can get some sort of context of who you are. It can be totally a fictitious story, but once you do that, then we'll give you the additional security so you can see everything in the group. Because right now, as a non-starter, you get a general chat you can't chat into, you can just read. You can get the live, you can, I think, just for fun, which is the funny shit that we post every so often. And you get the introduce yourself, it's the only place you can type. So it's like a little stepping stone. First stepping stone is a technical challenge. Second stepping stone, learn to use a keyboard and say something. And then you can sort of start to find out how it all works.
But people have transgressed from that because people have got bigger thumbs now. They don't use keyboards. They use their little...
I think you can do it. I still can't do that shit, sorry. Just two left thumbs.
Exactly, Drac. I mean,
minor flex there.
Yeah, you can give people as many opportunities to be able to chat or integrate themselves or become social. But they get so stuck. All right, I know people that don't even want to use a keyboard anymore. No, I've got my little. I'll do this. You still need to be able to type letters.
It's trending towards convenience too. So if you make something convenient, then, even if something is better, but it's less convenient, it won't be used.
And I think
so people actually have to make an effort to do something to be able to achieve a reward. I mean, isn't that life? Isn't that living? You actually do things to form an outcome. Sorry, it's not as easy as Facebook. It's not as easy as this. It's not as easy as that. But the rewards of making an effort, I was always brought up, well, if you want anything in life, you've got to work hard and put effort into it.
I agree with you to a point. And here's where I'm going to... People are pulled in so many different ways these days with everything. Like, this is the negative side about being online, about being contacted a lot. I mean, I'm a tech guy. I love tech. But there's people that I have run into that still exist that only have a, what I'd call a dumb phone.
A 3110.
Yeah. They only have that phone that you could throw from, the 19th floor and it'd survive. But, I mean, the advantage of that is you have your peace, you have your silence, you have your own thinking time. So you don't have to be pulled in all of these directions. You don't have to be constantly bombarded by media, by stories, by your friends. If your friends want to talk to you, they have to make an effort to do so. Where there's a negative and a positive to that, and there's a negative and a positive to, the more technical lives we live. Just in, what are you going to choose to optimize today? What are you going to choose to really push yourself into? Because you can go so many different ways with that.
And you can do that. You can actually do this on Facebook as well. It's just going through and fixing up your like pages. You tend to like things you like, but in my case, I've looked at left wing and right wing and centre politics. I've looked left and right wing, lots of different sort of cohesive groups out there. So my Facebook feed, in my world, gives me a feeling or a current of what's going on to society, not just focused on what my friends are doing. And it helps me sort of see into, like I don't have the AI that runs Facebook, but I have my own, fabricated AI in my neural connections here to look at my Facebook feed and say, there's a definite trend going this way. There's a trend in society going that way. And again, this is why we're talking about it this week, because with this advent of this new strain of the virus coming out, instantly there's this left-wing approach of shutting everything down, which I quite agree, the fact that this virus will only exist while it's got a petri dish to live on, right? And that's the only petri dish we've got is us and the labs that are experimenting with it. So stop travel, right? Let's make it endemic, not pandemic. Close borders for a few weeks, right? Deal with your mess, right? Get you know how to sort of thing. Then we can still get a better picture. Let's not shut down the country. Let the country continue to do what countries do, right? But do we, international travel? Well, we're going to have impose a few restrictions. I remember from the 70s, we had this little book, right? A little, virus book. You couldn't go to certain countries unless, of course, it had your vaccine information. That was the 70s. What have we got today? Now they're bringing it back in. Everybody's going, oh my God, the world is about to... No.
Yeah, everybody's surprised by the...
We've had
but I think there's a lot of people that don't travel, that are freaking out about it, that don't travel internationally. Or
the vaccination book never went away. Yeah. It's still in existence. It's still a current
it's just people didn't know about
document. Yeah.
less and less countries were required to present it. That was what the problem was.
Yeah.
Because I think it only went down to typhoid and yellow fever in certain African nations travelling from and to. So how many people wanted to go to Africa freely? Well, they're not the people that go on Facebook, are they? They're going there for business, because you wouldn't want to go live there. We had an office in South Africa, and although we had the office in South Africa, I would do my utmost to get the guys in South Africa to deal with the problems while I told them, give me a video feed. Of course, their video feed was absolutely shit as well. I want to see what you're doing. I want to help you, walk you through the process of steps that we're going to do. You don't need me there to do that crap, right? And I really don't want to go to Johannesburg. I'm sorry. That's the last place in the world I want to go to. But yeah, you get the idea. That's life. I could have got free trips to South Africa. I don't know. Tick that box. No, thank you. I've got better things to do in my life. But yeah, but that's the sort of the world we've got. There's been the vaccination certificate has always been in existence ever since we started travelling internationally, travelling internationally by air. I don't think it was really so much of a thing before air travel, because you were quarantined on a boat for 2 to 4 weeks.
Passports didn't exist before, that. I mean, if you look at the history of humanity, passports are a very recent advent.
Yeah.
So.
But that's the way we go. We've got a society that's now hell-bent on the fact that, my rights as a free person have been completely taken away. Well, guess what? It's not so much your rights have been taken away, it's just other people felt that their security was more important than your rights. But again, society hasn't worked out, it's an either or, security or freedom. You finding that middle road, that seems to be the most political woke aspect of current society that I've had to deal with.
Yeah, nobody's willing to give. Nobody's willing to give.
Yeah, it's all about me, what I want, when I can get it, and how cheap I can get it.
Yeah.
And there's no love thy neighbour, I use that.
Yeah.
Generically, it's like we were trained to serve and protect, and that's ingrained into your training. So when you get out and you go into a civilian environment, my head's going serve, protect, serve, protect, serve, protect. So I do it on a daily basis. But a lot of people are now, as you said, those social, I suppose, intertwines aren't there. So there is no, I suppose, kickstart in the brain to think, okay, someone's in trouble, someone's in need, what do I do?
Yeah.
Not because you want credit, not because you want the infamy, not because it's going to get 10,000 views on YouTube. The fact is, you've got a conscience, and that conscience has said, hey, let me help you. You're a fellow human.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing I've got. No, I definitely believe the mask mandates that we've got in place are a necessary part of our current societal condition, right? But that's the one thing I really miss about Thailand these days as well is, it's called the land of smiles for a number of different reasons, but just the smiles you get on a daily basis from people lift you. But now, now it's become, reading people's eyes, and I don't know whether it scares people when you're taking that closer look. A smile was so much bigger and you could see from a distance, but now it's, I think you're smiling there underneath the mask.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't like eye contact.
Yeah.
If you ever noticed that with, when you introduce yourself to someone, firm handshake, firm eye contact, so someone can actually see and read who you are. But now you're not allowed to touch someone because have you washed your hands, blah, blah, blah. Now you can't see a half of your facial expressions. And facial expressions are one of the big ways of communicating.
And of course, that's one of the things that
you're absolutely right there.
Yeah, it's one of the things we miss here in Thailand right now. Until you
I think the world too.
I'm only seeing Thailand. I'm only seeing Thailand. I'm not seeing the world.
well, yeah. I mean, if you look at the way like, the topic, society breakdown.
Yeah.
We're missing so much of our communication between either, working remotely and there's some good and bad. The good is we can have this, we can have this right now. That's the good. The bad is on your day-to-day interactions, you're not able to really express yourself or see other people's expressions, which means you're not able to connect to other humans in the same way. So it's easier to, God, it's going to sound really shitty when I use this term, but I don't mean it in the way that people have patented it, objectify people. It's easier now to turn people into boxes rather than to see people as, their emotions as their being. So, yeah, I don't, yeah. You understand what I mean.
I think one of the best things about building a group is the fact that you're going to get different people coming on. As long as you've got a connection somewhere, I think that group is foundational of creating differences between people, where everybody can offer something. And I think again, when we start to see some of these groups out there, I'll use the name Ku Klux Klan. The underlying reason behind that is they hate black people. Yet, from what I understand now, 30% of people in Ku Klux Klan are freaking black people. I've heard numbers of that sort of being bandied around, They're behind a fucking white mask. Nobody gives a fuck who they are, But you get the idea. It's just that sort of mandate. And you've got people on the street, demanding black rights, and these are white people demanding black. What is happening to society is doing my head in. What happened to human rights? Everybody should be allowed to do certain things, and the governments are the antipathy of allowing us to be people. But at least here it doesn't matter black, white, red, yellow, green. If you're cool, then if you're not a dick, then you're welcome here. That's it. You've only got one rule: don't be a dick. And I think the same in Psycho's group as well. Don't be a dick. If you play games, it's even better.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to
play games. Yeah, but
just hang out, talk.
And that's it. If I'm not here on Discord, I might be on Dark Horizon anyway, because it depends on who's there first. If you know what I mean, who's there first? If it's
who's there, who's on, whatever.
I'll go over there if first in the morning if I see Psycho and Drac and the other guys that are having a chat in there, I'll go over there first. Which means I'm not here, but I do keep an eye on who shows up. But and I'm using like 3 screens here, and that screen's up there, and I'm going, I didn't notice you popping in for 5 seconds or whatever. But I still keep an eye on who's there. But you can always message me. Once you've done the thing of joining the group, joining the channel, you got the names. You can message, ping me. It's again a little bit my Facebook. Are you busy? I want to ask some questions, and I say, okay, and I'll just pop over. But you don't have to be. It doesn't have to be me. If you want to ask Psycho, you got his name here. Just message him, and if he's free, he'll either go privately or said, well, I'll meet you in the chat lobby on the KLF, or he might give an invite to his. This is the thing. It's about invitation. I think Facebook has lost that invitational process. Where you've got to make the connection. Like, I know I've got 2,500 people as friends on Facebook, and I don't know all but 15 to 20 of them personally. They're just friends on Facebook, friends of friends, and you're going, but you're not friends. You're connections. You're a connection on Facebook. Yeah. It's not a friendship. It's a connection. And this is what society's been built around this. The fact we're friends now because I've put a friend request in.
I friended you.
Really? Yeah, it's a few more steps you did. What's your fucking name first? I see you've got 3 pictures on your Facebook feed. You're a fake. You just joined Facebook after 15 years of Facebook. You're just joining.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There are a few filters you have to start with, but I still will accept people. But just because you're accepted doesn't mean you're a friend. That's it. There's some steps you need to follow. The worst to get it, because most of them are Thai women that still don't work that one out. What are Thai women contacting me for? Didn't they look at my profile? Didn't you see I'm engaged to this lovely girl? And I look at your
I haven't
picture.
obviously watched the videos.
And I look at your picture, and I'm sorry, somebody beat you with an ugly stick. And you think I'm going to drop my girl for you? Come on. You know, but they're not all ugly, but you get the idea. There's a few there you're going, what the? You know? People from Vietnam. Why are you contacting me from Vietnam? You got no friends of yours or friends of mine. What's going on here? You know. Yeah, you get the idea.
I gotta go downstairs real quick.
That's right.
Breakfast has arrived.
Breakfast has arrived. It's almost lunchtime. Anyway, we're in the last 12 minutes of the show anyway. So, any particular things anybody wants to ask at this stage before we bow out of here? You know, we'll take questions from the audience now.
Not that we could probably answer most of them, but we'll take them.
What was the social page before Facebook? It was, I think, one
MySpace.
MySpace, yes. Always counted was a subtitles.
Yeah, subtle as a sledgehammer, Dowlow.
Subtleties, yeah. So I just remember how to spell that word. Disclaimer: you have to know me to understand my warped humour and sarcasm. Well, you're the people we want here, Ralph. And I know you were on before. Yeah, he was feeling a bit shy. He didn't want to come and show it. You know, be part
Yeah,
of it.
I've only got one filter. You need to at least know one line from a Python movie. If you know at least one line from a Python movie, you're fine.
And if you come up to me in the street and said, "The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has this to say on the subject of towels." A towel, it says, is one of the most massively useful things an interstellar hitchhiker can carry. For one, it has great practical value. You can wrap it around your head for I've forgotten the fucking
Yeah.
I got to think about the actual lines now. I got to put that back on. I got to play Hitchhikers again, just to refresh my brain. I haven't smoked enough cannabis.
You got to put the original BBC TV series on.
No. It's a radio series. TV series came after the radio series. Don't start on me.
Yeah.
The radio series. I've got the radio series here. If you want a copy of the radio series, I don't know. I can probably put it on my Plex now. It's a podcast, couldn't I?
Yep. Yes, Darlow, you got the answer correct.
Let me see if I can.
Everything's based around the nomination of 42.
Yeah, which is in ASCII, it's an asterisk symbol, which means it can mean anything. It's a wild card. But we won't explain the whole 42 to people who've never actually read the book, or watched the TV series, or played the radio series. But yeah, Douglas Adams is one of the most brilliant writers of our century, in the 20th century, along with Frank Herbert and Isaac Asimov, and who wrote Foundation.
Oh, now you
Isaac Asimov.
Isaac Asimov, yeah. Just that first season was fucking brilliant. I loved that. I think it was great. Looking forward to that. I was, people seem to think I'm anti-Apple. That is a brilliant series they've produced. It really is a brilliant series. I love it. I'm going to have to go and rewatch the whole first season again, just so I can put together the whole timeline, because it's not one of those things. It's like the first season of Westworld, where you got different time avenues and snapshots and things like that, which and it spans like 300 years in post-human society. There was a giveaway. You're trying to work out, was this before Earth? But actually, I think episode 9. They did make reference to, thousands of years ago, humanity started on planet Earth. This is actually post-human society. I couldn't quite work out whether, from the very initial production, whether it was before we settled, the colony on Earth or after. because it seems to get that impression, the fact that this has happened a long, long time ago, like the whole Star Wars thing, in a galaxy far, far away.
It's like that falling fourth wall of Battlestar Galactica at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you haven't seen the series, you have to. It's on Apple TV, but if you're creative enough, or if you give me your email address and I'll add you to my Plex, there's just a little bit more setting up you got to do. And you can access my library.
You got to actually put a bit of effort in to get the reward.
That's it. Effort before reward. That's it. We should change the thing. Change the name from Callisto Liberation Front, which has a specific meaning, to effort before reward.
Yep.
But yeah.
A question from Download for you, Wazza. Are you buying Chanya any gold for Christmas?
Oh, don't start. Like, I'm going to shoot you. If she sees that comment, she's going to think you're my best friend, or her best friend. Oh, my God. I think she's...
I just love the fact that you've got those two random pigs walk past. They were highly trained.
That's next year's next year's roast. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do have the chaos symbol in 23.9. That's got 1 baht of gold. So I'm going to get a 2 baht chain to go with it this Christmas. So technically it's going to be her Christmas present, but it's really the fact that I might decide to wear it because it's a gold version of this, but this is just more durable. This is silver. It's a lot stronger. People still think it's a Buddhist symbol. I don't know if you ever seen it. It's not a Buddhist symbol. It's a chaos symbol. Yeah. The 8-pointed star. I won't explain that shit to you. That's a whole 2-hour discussion again, which we'll talk about offline, because otherwise, every time I start bringing chaos and discordia into things, everybody just runs away. They don't want to know. It's like, you're affronting my Christian background. But hey, I prefer to choose that imaginary figure in the sky as opposed to some guy that wants a burnt offering every Sunday, and he don't even call it a barbecue. It's a tabernacle. What's a tabernacle? If you're going to have a barbecue, call it a barbecue. Let's have a barbecue every Sunday. Bring a pig.
Going off a little tangent. I can't wait until I get my slow roast smoker. Then I'll be making my own bacon. So those little piggies that you found during the week,
oh yeah,
after them.
Yeah, that's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. But yeah, so I will be getting 2 baht of gold for Christmas. I don't really like that. I'll spend 50,000. What are we? 55,000 baht for a chain, and it won't be a pretty chain because it'll be something that I will wear as well. It'll be a standard crosslink chain, in a 2 baht sort of weight of gold to match up with the symbol. That's what we're looking for anyway. Anyway, we've got 5 minutes to go. Any other questions? And just forget about the gold. Chanya does watch this every time. She'll think that all the
I'll
Christmas...
remind Chanya. Don't worry about it.
She'll either think all the Christmas will come at once. Andy, I don't use hand sensitives, and not since the mix-up with the... Dallo! I'm not going to go there. Oh my God. The thing I miss. But anyway. What else we got to do? So we're going to continue on and chat and play some games after this little round. But you're going to make your own sausages too, Todd.
I'll be cooking up a storm. I'll be trying lots of things. So yeah. And yep. All you got to do is come up north a little bit, Mayor Groves, and you can partake in the delicacies I start smoking. It's going to be awesome.
And if somebody, just on the closing, somebody was asking me about how to, if they're coming to Thailand, where's the first place to start hanging out, like as a social group. We do have a place, and it's called, it's part of the meetup.com website. So there's the link. I'll put that in the chat here. Right, you can register on there. Now, Jerry, this is a group that Jerry runs. Actually, Jerry and Zach run that. There's 3,500 members there. But it is a centralised focal point for Thailand if you're going to be in Bangkok. Right, it's a thing that they do every Friday. Me being out of Bangkok and it's an hour's drive in, I'm not there every Friday, but Jerry or Zach will be there every Friday. There's, for the morning tea thing, there's usually 15 to 20 people minimum there where you can chat with other foreigners. I know if you come to Thailand, some people don't want to talk to foreigners, they would rather talk to Thai, but that's up to you. But it's a focal point for if you want to meet some other foreigners living there, compare notes. And it's like the Hellfire Club. That's going to be our focal social cohesion point to meet up with people on a regular basis, and from there, you'll find out who you fit with. You might not fit with our group. This one here's a little bit of a technical challenge, but as I said, a couple of people there have asked me how to do the Discord because they can't work it out, and we've got them involved because I've been able to show them on their mobile how to do it. Once they see it done a couple of times, it's all right. Yeah, who wants to meet Frank? Go ahead, Jen. Robert Groves, invite the staff. Yeah. Still deciding, Darla. We have a big group of friends here and turns. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so here, over this side of the city, we'll be doing the occasional barbecue here and probably the occasional smokehouse at Todd's place. Bolt can't really do things because he's in a condo, so he won't be able to do that. But we'll be doing other things. We'll be doing rides and meetups around the place. So that's what's coming up in 3 weeks now, is it? How many weeks? How many days?
3.
3. It is 3 weeks. Okay, so so we might actually see you on the Saturday live stream that Saturday.
If I get a good enough connection, you'll have the hotel room.
Salia, he's going to be sort of staying. He's picking Salia, which is the area we've got one place picked out, but we can't. They want him here to have the discussion, and Chanya will go and do the introduction to get to wander around. But it's a year lease. I think 9,000 baht a month was the price. But this is not certain yet. But you got a 1 month Airbnb anyway already booked.
Yeah. So, I want to check out your place when if you get that place just to see.
It'll be good.
It's a fairly new estate. The estate's only about 4 or 5 years old, judging from the architecture. So it should be pretty good. And it is a long-term lease. I think with Chanya's introduction and going there, where they sort of solve the language problem, we should be able to secure that one there. And it might even go in her name or something. Who knows? If it makes him happy, we can sort something out. But don't forget, that's another thing we will be doing. Eventually we'll get the guest room all set up, and in Cody's situation, we stayed with Tim down in Charm there for that initial set of initial 4 weeks. We will have something like that as provision here as well. It's not for everybody. It's going to be those close friends that have built up a communication and a regular participation in everything we do. We will be able to offer that little situation to sort of hopefully get people over. And whatever tip you give Chanya for the inconvenience that we have to go through, then that's up to you. I'm not playing any part of it because I can't earn an income in Thailand. So there you go. That's specifically hers. It's her house. So she's going to be the one going to immigration with you to get that little what they call it, form. Anyway, I'm rambling on. It's 3 minutes past the hour. We've got to close this thing off. So peace out, guys. It's a goodbye from me and a goodbye from the Brady Bunch.
Yep. Have a great week, everyone.
Where's my closing screen? Okay. Later. Check out the next video too.
I want you to lift me up.